I'm primarily a mixed media artist in that I do a lot of junk collecting and then I find a lot of things like in alleys and thrift stops. But I also work in collage, so I can kind of apply that practice to a more two-dimensional aspect of things. But then I do a lot of drawing as well. When I describe work to people as far as what I make, I generally say that you might find me, behind your house looking through your trash, or picking stuff off the street, or my art kind of looks like your attic. Welcome to my studio. This is where I do my work. These drawers are pretty much, well, they reflect all of the things that I've kind of hunted and gathered for the course of quite a few years. You never really know what you find, but with any of these things, there's always personal history for any kind of object, so I kind of have a hard time getting rid of things that maybe someone had cared for at some point. I like to think about where I find the stuff and who had thrown it away and what were the circumstances that maybe that object was witness to. Because as much as we sort of collect things or collect experiences or memories, I really do think that a lot of the objects, like a note with torn edges or an object with a ding in it that was discarded for some reason, like those are witness to a lot of experiences too, and I like to think that they collect us in a certain way as much as we collect them. When you choose to remember certain things, you tend to pick out the big points, like that trip that we went to Disney World or the time that I got married, but there's all these other really precious moments that I think really define who we are that sometimes can be the most mundane. My drawings are a combination of a lot of the things that I think I and other people think about often, throughout our daily existence. And I think these drawings act as, it's like taking the top off someone's head and peering in to see what makes them work or what makes them tick. So I like thinking of them as memory palaces or mind maps, just a way to, better understand some of the things that I guess I'm interested in, trying to find connections between all those things. It's pretty hard when you're working with something this big to not draw something with pencil, especially how meticulous this is. Because oftentimes when I'm working on this, like I'll come in and I'll sit in front of it for 3 hours and kind of go, and I just can't commit to drawing something in pen because where I am, I'm kind of stuck with it. I think the drawings work. I hope that they work on a couple different levels. If you step far away, you're able to maybe take it in as a whole, but when someone does get close to something, I like to think that, which is why I like working big as well, that it kind of fills your peripherals, so for a little bit, that kind of is your own world, which I think really nicely overlaps my own viewpoint when I'm working on it. It's all-encompassing. The drawings offer me opportunities that the installations don't. And the installations, I generally need to have the actual item there to be able to use it. And for me, I like to use objects that are a little bit more democratic, things that maybe we all had around us at some point in our lives. A lot of the art materials I generally get, at least with the sculptural and collage-y found objects, is by proximity, by walking around and noticing something on the ground or seeing something up there or pulling something off of a shelf. Usually it's almost always it's a secondhand shop, an estate sale, a garage sale, something where these objects have been used before. The first rule of thrift sailing or estate sailing or junking is that if you think you might want it or you think you might use it, you need to get it right at that moment, because if not, you might never run across that thing again. I think the difference between me and a hoarder is that I have an outlet for the stuff that I'm collecting. Please take. Paint comes off, that's good. Oh, perfect. And it's home. One man's junk is another man's treasure. The directions that I'm working on right now are really a result of years and years of working towards this point. And in the future, what I'm making will not have been possible without the things that I've been making right now.